please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. You may be seated.
The clerk will call the roll. Please correct the pronunciation of your name if it is incorrect. Also, if the Russell House AV could help me with the computer. Sorry, he just walked away.
Lauren Anderson, William Barnes, Timothy Barr, Amanda Blanton, Bella Brash, Natalia Beyer, William Costello, Emma Cumby, Tate Few, Amelia Gay, Caleb Geddens, Kaylee Goodrich, Aiden Gruner, Chandler Hines, Zoe Hopkins, Muhammad Iftikhar, Anita John, Lakika Cassetti, Camden Kay, Tori Kerner, Mia LaPenta, Donnie Lapsley, Jeffrey Lyons, Jackson Matthews, Isabel Miller, Mackenzie Mozo, Bryson Peterson, Stone Pillsbury, Ainsley Reed, Soraya Romali, Rodrigo Rojas, Taylor Sokert, Amaya Sowell, William Wenzel, Lawson Windsor, Marion Winters.
With a quorum being present, is there a motion to approve the Journal of September 18th, 2024 as found online? Is there a second? Without objection, so ordered. Chairman Kay. There's been a motion to appoint Spencer Kelly as the Sergeant of Arms for today's session. Is there a second? All those in favor say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Spencer Kelly is now appointed as the Sergeant at Arms. We are now in line for general orders of the Senate, beginning with reports from special guests. Dean of Students and Deputy Title IX Director, Dr. Mark Shook, is recognized. Senator Geddens. There's been a motion to enter into executive session pursuant to Section 2140B2 of the Student Government Codes for the receipt of legal advice. Within executive session, the Senate chambers shall be cleared of all non-senators, excluding the following: the Speaker of the Student Senate, the Chief of Staff to the Speaker, the Clerk of the Student Senate, the Chief Advisor to the Speaker, the Legislative Aide to the Speaker, Emma Ormond, Assistant Director of Student Governments, and Dr. Mark Shook, Dean of Students and Deputy Title IX Director. All audiovisual devices must be stopped, included but not limited to all microphones in the chambers as well as the live stream. Is there a second? All those in favor say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The Senate is now entering into executive session. The Sergeant at Arms must clear the chambers. order. Well, welcome back, everybody. We're just going to move through and do a quick roll call vote to make sure everyone's here. Is there a motion to make a roll call vote? Is there a second? Without objection, so ordered.
Lauren Anderson, William Barnes, Timothy Barr, Amanda Blanton, Bella Brash, Natalia Beyer, William Costello, Emma Cumby, Tate Few, Amelia Gay, Caleb Geddens, Kaylee Goodrich, Aiden Gruner, Chandler Hines, Zoe Hopkins, Daniel Huang, Muhammad Iftikhar, Anita John, Lakika Cassetti, Camden Kay, Tori Kerner, Mila Penta, Donnie Lapsley, Jeffrey Lyons, Jackson Matthews, Isabel Miller, Mackenzie Mozo, Bryson Peterson, Stone Pillsbury, Ainsley Reed, Soraya Molly, Rodrigo Rojas, Taylor Silkert, Amaya Sao, William Wenzel, Lawson Windsor, Marion Winters.
All right. Is there any other motions on the floor? Senator Cumby. There's been a motion to appoint Chairwoman Anderson as Senator Cumby's proxy. Is there a second? Without objection, so ordered. Vice Chairwoman Cumby. Approved. Are there any other motions on the floor at this time before we continue? We're continuing on to reports from Senate leadership. Chairman Barnes, oh my goodness. Chairman Gruner, you are recognized to give a report on the Rules Committee.
Hey guys, Rules met on Sunday at 5:30 p.m. on Teams. We reviewed 5 pieces of legislation, 4 of which were found unanimously favorable and will be hitting the floor tonight, 1 which was found unanimously unfavorable, and questions will be coming to that later. And with that, I yield the floor.
The chairman yields his time to questions. Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you. We are now in line for a report from the Academics Committee. Chairwoman Anderson, you are recognized.
Hey y'all, so academics did not meet this week, but normally we meet at 7 p.m. on Mondays, but a few updates. First things first, our meeting with the Student Advocacy Center was supposed to be today, but will now be tomorrow, so we'll discuss more about that. Next week, we're still in contact and trying to work with the Student Disability Resource Center. Our biggest initiative with them is regarding accessibility for Dartmouth students and other schools that are a little bit farther away from Clothes. And then additionally, academics is working to advocate for more advertisement on the website regarding study spots and places to get academic help. And then federal legislation will be hitting the floor later today. And with that, I yield my time to questions.
The chairwoman yields her time to questions. Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you. We will now hear a report from the Finance Committee. Chairman Wenzel, you are recognized.
Finance Committee met this Friday at 3:30. We had 1 comptroller interview, which we found favorable, and then we also had 3 allocations to get through, which we will talk about later. With that, I yield my time to questions.
The chairman yields his time to questions. Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you. We will now in line for a report from the Health and Safety Committee. Chairman Gruner, you are once again recognized.
Hey guys, long time no see. Health and Safety met on Thursday at 4:30 p.m. last week. We started working on the domestic violence tabling event, where we've already gone ahead and tabled those events for October 14th, October 21st, and October 27th. Well, I will let Senator Barr discuss that a little bit further at a right time. With that, I'll move on to the next thing, sorry. We're also working on a Darla Moore piece of legislation. We went on a survey mission directly after our meeting last week. Huge shout out to Senator Hopkins, who's been working really hard on this to go check the doors, check security, and went on multiple missions for that. We're also in the process of filling out an SCDOT form regarding an intersection on Pickens and Blossom Street, which is being headed up by Senator John, and hopefully the Transportation Subcommittee will also jump on that. And finally, We're finishing up things in the final stages for the Girls Just Want to Stay Safe initiative. And while I will let Senator Blanton make more announcements regarding that, I do want to make a huge, awesome, exciting announcement, a huge shout out. So Senator Blanton's been in communication with the distributors of the roofie testing kits. And essentially, after a lot of back and forth and a lot of negotiation, she has managed to secure over 570 products using only a $1,300 budget. For clarification, on just how amazing this is, guys, she has saved us over $3,000. So I know y'all gave her a hand of applause, but this is really amazing. So huge shout out to her for that. And with that, I yield my time to questions.
The chairman yields his time to questions. Are there any questions? Senator Goodrich.
She is the best.
Sorry, covering my salad. Are there any other questions? Seeing none, thank you. We will now hear a report from the Inclusion and Equity Committee. Chairwoman Cassetti, you are recognized.
Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. It's so nice to see you guys. And so basically, we met on Tuesday at 5 p.m. and we discussed some more of our initiatives that we would like to lead. So we are continuing to pursue a multicultural org networking event / a mixer, and some initiatives related to student involvement in undergraduate research. And with that, I yield my time to questions.
The chairwoman yields her time to questions. Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you. We will now hear a report from the Judiciary Committee. Chairman Kay, you are recognized.
Good afternoon. Man, really leaned in here. Judiciary did not meet this week as there were no matters on the agenda. We will be meeting this week as there should be a bill hitting the floor that amends the codes to allow freshman council members to proxies. Bless you.
Guys, it's been a really long day. I'm so sorry.
I'm having a lot of fun with this, by the way.
Did you yield your time to
No, I'm
questions?
not yielding my time.
Oh, you can go. Keep going.
The ad hoc committee did meet this Sunday. We didn't really meet with much just because there were several members who couldn't attend, but we will be meeting this weekend, and we're going to start going full steam ahead on Chapter 4. I'm hoping to get that Chapter 4 fully edited. I'm still talking with some people to get some more edits for that, but we should have that in the next 2 to 3 weeks if my timing and math is correct, and my schedule frees up. With that, I will yield to questions.
The chairman yields his time to questions. Are there any questions? Chairwoman Anderson.
7 p.m. on Sunday, and I will bring snacks. I normally bring meat sticks and cheese, and that's what cheese sticks with meat. That's the right one. Sorry, I got confused. But I normally try to bring donuts and other food because I know, like, if you're sacrificing your Sunday to spend some time with me, I want y'all to feel validated, and snacks.
Chairwoman Anderson.
No, Judiciary meets 12 o'clock on Fridays in the LSC. Both meet in the LSC.
Senator Iftikhar.
LSC, Leadership Service Center. We'll meet there. I try to keep the meetings under half an hour for the next ones. They'll probably be a little bit longer, but I'm very much not interested in wasting people's time. So I try to make sure we get what we need done, and then I leave y'all to go on your way. Y'all do enough service here, and I don't need to take more of your time.
Are there any other questions for the chairman? Seeing none, thank you. We will now hear a report from the Powers and Responsibilities Committee. Chairman Pillsbury, you are recognized.
Good afternoon. Powers did not meet this past week, but we have 2 applications for vacant seat senators that we will be following up with. And with that, I yield my time to questions.
The chairman yields his time to questions. Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you. We will now hear a report from the Student Life Committee. Chairman Barnes, you are recognized.
guys. Student life did not meet this week, so I don't have anything to tell y'all. I yield my time to questions.
The chairman yields his time to questions. Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you. We will now hear a report from the Sustainability Committee, Chairwoman LaPinta, as well as Senators Kerner and Lyons are recognized.
Hi guys. So I don't have a ton to report on my end. I was continuing to research the climate action plan. I was supposed to meet with some people to discuss that this week, but it kind of ended up falling through. Everyone's real busy with exams. So that is all the updates I have. So I will pass it on to my senators, who I'm very, very proud of because they have been killing it this week.
So we're currently working on an initiative to start kind of educating students and getting action done to do technology recycling on campus. And so this would include donations, and a lot of the times the campus destroys parts because they're state contracted to do that. And those parts can be reused by different colleges, like the College of Engineering, and then we're trying to work with the School of Journalism and everything for things like cameras. So on Tuesday, I met with Larry Cook, who's the Director of Sustainability, and that meeting went awesome. It seems like this is a very doable initiative that we can get started on. There's a few kinks we need to work through, like I said, the state contracting that we would have to get around. But besides that, it seems like it is a real issue that needs to be addressed. Larry said that last year, 2023, we got rid of 132 tons of technology waste on campus, just us, this university alone. So, yes, it's awesome.
Definitely needed. She slayed.
Hey everybody, so I met with Vice President Tax today, and we are discussing working on a recycling initiative at sporting events. So one major problem that people have been noticing is just how many plastic bottles are left behind after these sporting events, and it's not just a USC problem, it's like a national problem. And so we just met talking about having like a 15-second PSA towards the end or at the end of football games, basketball games, baseball games, to just encourage fans to recycle as they leave the stadium. And two of our ideas were either as a student government or having the university put together an animated graphic of cocky recycling and someone's saying over the PA to encourage to recycle, blah, blah, blah. And then the other idea was having President Byers do a 15-second video with cocky as well. So.
From his face, he did not know that was a thing, but I guess it is now. If that is all, we will yield to questions.
The senators yield their time to questions. Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you. We are now in line for a report from the Freshman Council. Are the representatives of Freshman Council present? Y'all can head on down. And when y'all start, just tell us your names and your hometowns so we know who you are.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jackson Wade. I'm from Atlanta. I'm Graham. Yeah. Say it again. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jackson Wade. I'm from Marietta, Georgia.
I'm Graham Flaherty. I'm also from Marietta, Georgia. We went to elementary school together.
Oh.
Okay, so at our freshman council meeting on Monday, gave us a good opportunity to connect with our fellow members. Still a lot of name learning to do. We learned some more about the intricacies of the student government, the different branches, and where we fit into that. And then we also were introduced more to the positions of Senate liaison, and then the chairs for our various committees, and also cabinet liaison, so we could interact more with the different branches of student government. And then,
yeah. So we also broke into our committees for the first time. We have committees that sort of mirror the Senate committees here. And as you heard from him, we have positions now inside of Freshman Council that allow us to kind of work with y'all and with cabinet to more effectively put into action our plans that we're working on. We set meeting times for our committees. There's 5 of them, 10 people on each. you're on committees, you'll probably hear from them. Just people want to do stuff. But we have action plans that we're working on for our goals throughout the semester. We also met our student body president at the last meeting. He's back there. And we also have our upcoming retreat this Sunday that we're all thrilled for. Y'all should swing by.
Do y'all yield your time to questions?
We do yield our time to questions.
The representatives yield their time to questions. Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you. Can y'all give them a round of applause? Sorry that we kept y'all waiting for like an hour, but. All right. Continuing on, we are in line for a report from the Constitutional Council. Is there anyone willing to give a report for the Constitutional Council? Student Body President Patton Byers, you are recognized.
This is a funny time to be doing this one. Chief Justice Bookmeyer had to go to take a at-home exam. So he asked me to give his report, and his report is read the memo. I yield the question.
I did not share the memo with you guys because I was waiting for the Chief Justice to speak to y'all. I didn't know he was going to be leaving. That's okay. Point of information, it's just that the case that I had shared with y'all, I believe 2 days ago, Constitutional Council, within their normal process, reviewed it and determined that Camden K versus Student Senate, Camden K did not have standing to file a case.
I yield to his question.
Seeing none, thank you. Okay. We will now hear a report from the Speaker of the Senate, Maura Hamilton. Speaker of the Senate, Maura Hamilton, you are recognized. Oh, Chairwoman LaPinta. There's been a motion to appoint Senator Hopkins as Chairwoman LaPinta's proxy. Is there a second? Without objection, so ordered. Chairwoman LaPinta. Approved. All right. Hey, y'all, I'm back. I promise this is the last time I'm giving my report, and then Emmy will be back. I know y'all miss her beautiful smiling face. First off, Emmy wants y'all to make sure to check your emails. She sent you something just regarding committee membership and attendance. We want to make sure that we're up to date on that. If you ever notice that you're in a committee and you're not receiving the GroupMe messages, please let us know, because we'd be more than happy to enter you. Just with all of y'all, sometimes it just gets lost in the shuffle. Senator Lapsley already added you to the academics committee. That's why I brought this up. Otherwise, I had a pretty productive week, honestly. Who haven't I met with? I've met with representatives all throughout student life. I have a meeting scheduled with the Dean of the College of Nursing on tomorrow, discussing study spaces within the College of Nursing. I've met with tons of different chairpersons throughout the past week. And as always, just a reminder, I've said this to y'all a million times, but I'm always here for y'all. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. I'd so much rather have you guys ask me a million questions than have there be misinformation floating around, and hopefully I would be able to clarify some things for you guys. So otherwise, I yield my time to questions. Are there any questions? All right, seeing none. We'll now hear a report from the student body treasurer. Press Secretary Owen Collum, you are recognized.
Everyone. Okay, so our updates. This week, we have 3 interviews scheduled for the Finance Committee, and we completed them. We found them favorable. The Finance Committee now is going to have their decision on that. In addition to the one we conducted last week, Matthew over there, he was found favorable. Congratulations to him. Our external budget is currently at 13% as to what's been approved in Senate so far, right? What's gotten all the way on the chain and been approved. So if you know of any student organizations in need of funding, please spread the word that these resources are available and accessible. We're also planning to collect feedback from organizations to improve and streamline our funding process. On a positive note, our first few reimbursements are being processed, so we can start collecting data on organizations soon and the reimbursement process. The internal budget remains largely unchanged. So most of the internal budget is being used for executive stipends. So if you want to see an initiative put through, you talk to one of the executives.
Sorry, point of information, we do not get paid a massive sum of money. It's just split between the 4 of us. Just clarifying.
I yield my time to questions.
The press secretary yields his time to questions. Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you. I really just want to clarify, I promise we are not taking y'all's money. We are now in line to hear a report from the student body vice president. Vice President Courtney Tax, you are recognized.
Hey everyone. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep this short, but I do have a lot of things. Next week is Stigma Free Week. We are offering a free Group X class. I'll be sending a sign up for that. It'll be yoga, so it's gonna be nice and relaxing, not strenuous. It's to help ease your mind, not stress you out more. We are also going to be tabling with the Center of Health and Wellbeing at the Healthy Farmers Market because I do firmly believe that your physical health does impact your mental health, similarly to the Group X class. On Thursday, on the other hand, we will be partnering with 7 Brew. They will be giving out free coffee, energy drinks, and lemonades. And we will also be tabling with Center of Health and Wellbeing during that time. It's going to be coffee and counselors, so you can go talk to one of the representatives and receive a free coffee. Which leads us to Sunday. Sunday is our walkathon. We are super excited. We just launched the sign up. I sent it in the group me. Senate can create its own team if it wants to, or you can join the student government team. I highly recommend joining the student government team, just so we have a lot of people. Abella has created it, so if you do go sign up, all you'll do is press join existing team, join student government. It's a $5 entry, but that $5 automatically goes to the JED Foundation. I have a very lengthy goal for us, so please, if you would love to come, please come. All the money, again, goes to JED Foundation to promote and prevent, or promote good mental health and prevent suicide on campus. This has been such a great project to work with on IFC, and it means a whole lot to both of us, so we'd love if you guys could come attend. Next, I wanted to thank Senators Anderson and Cumby for working on the FROCO legislation. This is going on the first reading calendar today and basically makes it to where freshman council members can serve as proxies for senators. I did want to clarify, this does not mean that they can vote however they want. You would sit down with them, you would discuss how you want to vote on certain bills, meaning you have to look at the calendar ahead of time. But it allows them to meet you guys and learn how Senate works so that when they're deciding what they want to do next year, this is a good option for them to choose. And I think, speaking of FROCO, on Sunday, again, FROCO retreat, we're going to be doing a mingling thing. It's not if you want to be a mentor, it's for everyone, just so they can get to know you. That'll be from 2:30 to 3. It'll be in Russell 322. I'm going to be sending something out about it. But if you're interested in coming to that and meeting FROCO, come on up, I guess. With that, I yield my time to questions.
The student body vice president yields her time to questions. Are there any questions? Senator Brash.
So we're going to have 3 of them. Our first one is mid-October. Yes.
Senator Gettins.
Actually, I think they allow pets and founders. I would say so. Yeah.
Senator Goodrich.
So we won't actually be on the field. We'll be on the concourse. So I will check with athletics, and I will get back to you on that.
Vice Chairwoman Miller.
They are not allowed. Do not bring your dog.
Are there any other questions for the vice president? Seeing none, thank you. We will now hear a report from the student body president. Patton Byers, you are recognized.
Well, big on my plate, I've been working with Senator Gettins on conversations with administrative officials regarding study space in the nursing building. And it's been an interesting conversations that we've had so far, but I feel confident that we will get the desired answer that we need, which is more study space, obviously. Certainly, I think, in my opinion, especially in a building of that size and stature where you're further away from campus, you certainly need as much study space as possible, especially when professors and faculty are given offices and, of course, students aren't. So we're of course going to continue to advocate for students there and everywhere on campus. But I've been working with the senator on that, so I appreciate his help on that and our speaker. And tomorrow I'm meeting with our parking director, talking about the Stuff the Bus initiative, which would be bringing a bus on campus right on Green Street, where then we would pretty self-explanatory stuff the bus with goods and resources, and then bring that to a charity of our choosing in or near the USA community. So we're still working out the details, meeting with them tomorrow on that, as well as we talked about before, that parking validation waiver fee. So that hopefully should be coming around the corner very shortly as well. All the execs had lunch with the president yesterday. We talked about the nursing study space, along with several other things, mainly study space accessibility, affordability on campus when it comes to Gamecock Gateway students and students that are coming in to USC Columbia normally, and some of the differences in how much it costs to make sure that it's as accessible as possible of a campus. We talked about an initiative that I have, which is called a Last Night Carolina. It's I think the exact same as First Night Carolina, but just the last night that you're on campus. So hoping to work out some things there. And then we talked, of course, about more programming space on campus for big events like concerts, things like that. I'll yield to questions.
The student body president yields his time to questions. Are there any questions? Senator Goodrich.
Yes, so we actually, the president met with him. I don't know when, but he did. And we have he had conversations about that, and the president's following up with him personally and adding me on that chain, and we're going to meet us three hopefully within the next week or two. So he already met with him, and so that was taken care of, and we're meeting again. Because again, yesterday, good thing you brought that up, yesterday brought up again concerns that we've heard from others about outside entity law enforcements telling students how they can't come or can do certain things regarding their athletic ticketing instead of the policing efforts. That should be a little bit more nuanced. So we are in those conversations, and the president's aware, the chief is aware, and we're going to have another meeting about that as well. So, yes.
Are there any other questions? Seeing none, thank you. We will now hear the special orders of the Senate. Are there any letters, petitions, appointments, applications, or other? The clerk will now read.
A communication from the Constitutional Council concerning the determination of standing for Cannon K versus Student Senate.
Received. Point of information that is on the public information drive under the folder titled Constitutional Council. Continuing on with the special orders of the Senate, are there any letters, petitions, appointments, applications, or other? The clerk will now read.
A communication from the Office of the Student Body Treasurer concerning the nominations to the position of Comptroller, Sanaya Cameron, Zachary Gardner, E.J. Hickson.
The nominees are referred to the Finance Committee. Continuing on with the special orders of the Senate, are there any letters, petitions, appointments, applications, or other? The clerk will now read. Seeing no more special orders of the Senate, we are now in the motion period. Are there any motions on the floor? Chairman Kay. There's been a motion to add SBL 116XX to the first reading calendar. This can be found in introduced legislation in the public information folder. Is there a second? All those in favor say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The legislation is added to the first reading calendar. That legislation will now be referred to as SBL 11614 for future use. Are there any other motions on the floor at this time? Senator Gay. There's been a motion to appoint Senator Iftikhar as Senator Gay's proxy. Is there a second? Without objection, so ordered. Senator Gay. Granted. Is there a motion for a super brief recess? Is there a second? All those in favor say aye. All opposed? Ayes have it. We're on a super brief recess. Emma, I do it. No, I know. You're the proxy for Natalia Bayer, right? You have to come up here. The Senate will now come to order. Is there a motion to suspend the rules to allow Chairman Gruner to come up and replace me as Speaker? Is there a second? Without objection, so ordered. And the senator or the comptroller looking to be sworn in can come down now. To abide by the Student Government Constitution and codes. To uphold the Carolinian Creed. And to represent my constituents. To the best of my ability. Congratulations.
Is there a motion for the Speaker Hamilton to return back to the well? Second.
All right. Y'all, we got to lock in. We've got some legislation to get through. Are there any other motions on the floor? Seeing no more motions, is there a motion to dispense of this motion period? Is there a second? Without objection, so ordered. We are now on the call of the introduction of new legislation. The clerk will read.
SBL 11610, a bill to implement freshman council representatives to serve as proxies for senators.
Chairwoman Anderson, you are recognized to speak on the legislation.
Hey guys, I'll keep it super brief. I wrote this with Senator Cumby, but she's not here right now. Essentially, it's just changing the code so that a freshman council member can serve as a proxy. As Vice President already talked about, there'll be certain rules that are kind of in place to like where you'll be assigned a FROCA member, you won't get to pick one, and then there'll be a training that happens beforehand, and you'll go over any legislation that is voted on to kind of protect both the freshman council member and the senator. And this legislation is important because a lot of people, especially in freshman council, don't know exactly how Senate runs, and we want people to want to be involved in Senate, and it'll allow them to get involved. It's also great to network and meet other people, both in freshman council, for them to meet you guys and you guys to meet them, and for them to kind of learn about how it works. And with that, I yield my time to questions.
The chairwoman yields her time to questions. Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you. The legislation is now referred to the Judiciary Committee. I remind all senators and audience members to kind of keep their volume down low. I promise it carries in this room. Continuing on with the call of new legislation, the clerk will now read.
SBL 11611, a recommendation to permit the Finance Committee to allocate funds.
Chairman Wenzel, you are recognized to speak on this legislation.
Hello, everyone. Finance Committee reviewed $6,227.93 this week, and we approved the full amount. With that, I yield my time to questions.
The chairman yields his time to questions. Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you. Are any motions on the floor at this time? There's been a motion to pass SBL 11611 by unanimous consent. Seeing no objections, the legislation is now adopted. Continuing on with the call of new legislation, the clerk will now read.
SBL 11612, a resolution to affirm the importance of mental health awareness.
Senator Few, you are recognized.
Good evening, everyone. So I have two resolutions on the floor this evening. The first one is to affirm the importance of mental health on campus. Mental health is something that is important to this student government administration. It's your constituents and my constituents at the law school. So essentially what the resolution will do will affirm the contributions that student health and well-being has towards the students on campus, and it also affirms looking into essentially improving the ability for mental health services to reach the demand of students on campus. So with that, I yield my time to questions.
The senator yields his time to questions. Are there any questions? Chairman Kay. There's been a motion to adopt SBL 11612 by unanimous consent. Seeing no objections, the legislation is now adopted. Can we give the senator a round of applause? That's his first piece of legislation. Right. Continuing on with the call of the introduction of new legislation, the clerk will now read.
SBL 11613, a resolution to affirm the importance of pro bono and volunteer service in the local community.
Senator Few, you are once again recognized to speak on this legislation.
I believe there is a motion from someone.
Chairman LaPinta is not present.
Okay, so I'll speak on it. I'll let myself then. So essentially the resolution is to affirm the importance of pro bono and volunteer work on campus. The Joseph F. Rice School of Law is establishing a partnership with the pre-law fraternity on campus. And so the pro bono program at the law school essentially conducts legal clinics. They do Good Deed Fridays. So they go out into the community and they help nonprofit community partners. Legal clinics can include providing people with legal services on Ask an Attorney Day, which spans from any legal topic, or it can range from providing people with driver's licenses, birth certificates, or anything they would need as someone that's in the indigent population. So Pro Bono does a lot of good work within the local community. And in terms of the pre-law fraternity partnership, this would allow pre-law fraternity members to prepare themselves for getting involved in the law school experience and preparing them for a future as a lawyer. And the importance of being a service-minded person as a student and as a future lawyer as well.
Does the senator yield his time to questions?
Yes, I yield my time to questions.
Senator Goodrich. There's been a motion to adopt SBL 11613 by unanimous consent. Seeing no objections, the legislation is now adopted. Continuing on with the call of new legislation, the clerk will now read.
SBL 11614, a resolution to commend and congratulate freshman council leaders Emily Heater and Patrick Kuhn.
Chairman Kay, you are recognized to speak on the legislation.
Hey all, this is just a bill to kind of commend two individuals who previously actually served inside of this body, Emily Heater and Patrick Kuhn. They are now the FROCO directors. They've done an incredible job in running it. It requires a lot of dedication. They are two individuals who are effectively running a program of 80-ish people, if I'm not mistaken. And in fact, in the last week, last 2 weeks, they conducted about 80 interviews to get all of those freshman council members inside. So I just wanted to write a little thing kind of thanking them and congratulating them for all the hard work that they've done inside of student government and for this body. I'll yield to questions.
The chairman yields his time to questions. Are there any questions? Senator Lyons. There's been a motion to adopt SBL 11614 by unanimous consent. Seeing no objections, the legislation is now adopted. Continuing on with the call of the introduction of new legislation, the clerk will now read. Hearing none, that completes the call of new legislation. We are now on the call of the uncontested calendar. The clerk will read. Seeing none, that completes the call of uncontested legislation. We are now on the call of contested legislation. The clerk will read. Hearing none, that completes the call of contested legislation. We are now in line for a period of open discussion. Does any senator wish to bring a matter of attention to the body? Seeing none, we are now in line for a period of announcements. Are there any announcements from the floor? Right, seeing none, I just have a quick one. I promise I'll make it quick. I kind of just was frazzled when I was giving my original one. Want to reaffirm what Patton said. I did meet with President Amaritas yesterday. He expressed that he was very proud of all the work that we've been doing. We are doing with our philanthropic council our first kind of effort. We're doing a school supplies drive. This is through our Student Success Center. There's going to be a box in the Leadership and Service Center that has a QR code to a Garnet Gate form, and if you're able to provide documentation that you were submitting school supplies, you will be eligible for a dress down day next Wednesday. So you guys have until Tuesday at 5 p.m. to get those school supplies in, and after Senate, I will send a graphic as to what exactly is being accepted within this drive. Also, just want to remind y'all to make sure you're checking the student government-wide GroupMe. I heard a rumor there's going to be a little bit of a gathering after Senate next week. This is not a rumor, it's my 21st birthday, so do with that information what you will. And I'm going to be submitting my school supplies so I can dress down at Senate next Wednesday. And then I just have 3, I promise they're super quick, Senate Excellence Awards I want to give out, except I couldn't get them to print for some reason, so I'll give them to these senators tomorrow. The first one is going to a senator who just passed not 1, but 2 pieces of legislation in his first efforts. That's going to go to Senator Few. Great job. The second one is going to a senator. She filled a vacancy, and she's just gone above and beyond. I feel like I say that about everybody nowadays, but people are calling me and telling me that this girl is doing absolutely amazing. I'm super proud of her, and she actually just was up here speaking for Sustainability Committee, so this is going to Senator Kerner. And then the last one, this is going to a more senior senator. She currently holds not 1, but 2 vice chairwomanships, which is very impressive, and she's always asking really good, inquisitive questions, so that's going to go to Isabel Miller. All right, and with that, I yield my time to questions. Are there any questions? Seeing none, with no further announcements, is there a motion to adjourn? Is there a second? Without objection, the Senate will now stand adjourned until Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024.